I just loved making, and I loved making small things. It's just something about it being palm size that I really, really like. It's quite comforting kind of creating a world that, you know, it's, I don't know, small enough to hug, to hold. When I first got started, it must have been when I was like, probably like 2. I used to carry around with me this little matchbox, and in the matchbox I made a little paper doll. Back then we didn't have that many toys, and just creating my own kind of toy, it's something that was mine to keep, to have. But also, yeah, it was a world that I could create. My name is Mylyn Nguyen and I make miniature buildings. I really like taking real life bigger things and making them smaller. I think there's something quite magical about that. When people go to the Eiffel Tower and they stand there and they pretend to hold the Eiffel Tower, that's why I like miniatures, because I like the pretending to hold the miniature version in front of the bigger version, but actually I am holding the miniature version. I love old buildings, and I love buildings that age, that show their age and show their layers. With every building that I choose, there's an element that I really like.
The beekeeper. Yeah, I used to just walk to the cafes and walk past this guy. I even made the boxes that you can see up the top, but again, no one can tell that there's boxes in the window.
There's one cafe down the road here, and I made it just because the green tiles were excellent. The green tiles just looked like a really ornate jade green bracelet. It was just beautiful. One building I made quins because I wanted to cut out the little letters. I've always looked at other artists when they cut out such intricate things and go, I don't know how they do it. So I've challenged myself to actually cut out letters. Not great, but it worked. I've chosen 14 King Street buildings. There's a few buildings that, yeah, I just want to make just because of the red brick. That looks kind of cool. There's one building that's all closed up, and I just liked it because there was weed growing in one of the cracks of the building, and I really want to make that just a little weed. When I first start, it's almost like a sketch. I cut as I'm doing it. I don't really measure too often, and that's probably why I make mistakes a bit. I like mistakes because it forces me to kind of think in a different way. If that didn't work, then okay, move on, go to the next way to cut, go to the next way to stick and glue. I recently made 25 chairs and tables just because someone asked me, you know, how do you suggest I make this? So I said, oh, I'll make it because I want to feel what it feels like to make it. And so I made it. But every single chair that I cut out, every single thing that I did, I got faster and faster. And I created different ways, easier ways to make it. And I love that process. I love doing things faster, better, neater. I think creating art is not even something that I think about. I've never thought about. I think because, you know, I've always created something. It's like cooking. It's like, you know, you don't really think that I'm going to create a masterpiece. I'm going to put a piece of toast in the toaster. Like that's just a normal thing that you do. To me, it's exactly the same thing. It's making toast in the morning. In a world where pandemic and war and, you know, real life things, I think for me, it's quite entertaining for me to actually sit here, work hours and hours, only to make one little element and sit back and go, yes, I've done this. you know, for the people that view it, whether it's on social media or an exhibition or the person that eventually acquires the work, you know, it helps them in some way as well. Like for me, it's quite therapeutic to kind of make things like that. It's just something quite nice, you know, out of the everyday, out of, you know, everyday life with war and pandemic and monkey flu pox.